hello again, and welcome to an international to fire the imagination. A formidable France returning to Wembley after an absence of 23 years. They're a major attraction, of course, but extra interest and the raising of some eyebrows at Graham Taylor's team. Only 4 of the side who did England proud in Poland are in the team tonight. Chris Woods in goal, of course. The Forest defenders, Des Walker and Stuart Pearce, who is honoured with the captaincy, with Gary Lineker left on the bench, and Jeff Thomas in midfield. Rob Jones, Martin Keown and Alan Shearer take their first international steps. David Hurst and Nigel Clough, still relative novices at this level. Mark Wright and Neil Webb set out again after interruptions through injuries. Well, France have made no concessions because of the European Championship confrontation in June, but Michel Platini has lost 3 of his regular team to injuries. So in goal, Gilles Rousset is chosen for only the 2nd time. Christian Perez is picked on the left of midfield, and Eric Cantona is needed to support Jean-Pierre Papin. Cantona's fitness fortified by 2 games for Leeds United, both friendlies at the end of last week. Charge of England against the Republic of Ireland in Cagliari in the 1990 World Cup finals. Well, the conditions for this February friendly much better than last year, when Cameroon came here in sub-zero temperatures to take it. His 77th international, beating the mark set by Max Bossis. And Cantona, France appealing for a hand used by England as they blocked really the first chance of the game. A little bit of good fortune tonight, because Graham Taylor has made it clear that David Rocastle would have played on the right-hand side had he been fit. Here's Webb, delighted to have another chance for England. Bolly's header goes behind for another England corner. It's Clough again. And it was Fernandez who got his head to it. And Papin, who France will want to employ in the other half of the pitch, right back on his own goal line. Well, Pearce's header has dropped in play. Thomas had to bend his run to get it, headed on by Hurst, and it's Jones who has a chance here. Now Fernandez. Plenty of movement from France. They're all in front of the England defenders at the moment. Clough trying to get a tackle in. Wright comes out forcefully. Webb has only 1 ball on forward, and he had to make space, and in the end couldn't play it. France have a player down hurt, and Angloma has knocked the ball he hoped out of play. And it's Fernandez who's hurt. Michel Platini, Gérard Houllier, his right-hand man, and very much an Anglophile. Had a spell as a teacher in Liverpool. Well, Fernandez is having a bad time at the moment. He was sent off playing for his club Cannes at the weekend, and here he is down injured. And not a time to want to be out of the picture with France. As you saw, their record under Platini is really superb, and yet he started with 4 games without a win. Now Shearer, faced by Casoni. Alan Shearer with this marvellous record at under-21 level, which includes, incidentally, scoring a winning goal against his equivalents from France at that stage. That was last summer. Casoni is waiting for the ball perhaps to be rolled onto his left foot, but it goes to Papin, who is such a student of the way he scores his goals. Down under.
To call an inside right position.
For Angloma, Pearce is in the way for England. Clough. Thomas under pressure. England having to do most of their work at the moment in that state. and it breaks down in their own half. Amoros has only scored once in the 76 internationals, but he's made space here to test Chris Woods, and in fact, direct quite a...
Can get stretched a little bit. Their passing is pulling us all over the place. Fortunately, at the moment, they're not showing a great deal of penetration, the French.
Up goes Casoni, the number 6. Oh, and Woods. Ball. England trying to play the quick tempo style of play that Graham Taylor calls for from them when they do get possession, but it's not easy. There was a late challenge there by Bowley on Webb, and that must make Manchester United wince, having lost Webb, of course, with that Achilles tendon injury in Sweden for so long. And Webb desperate to play for his country again, and if Bowley had really connected with him then, well, that might have been the end of the match for him. As it is, it was certainly a nasty moment.
We do need 3 central defenders at the back.
Here's Cantona after Nigel Clough had lost his way. Deschamps, Papin's in the middle. It's across the face of the goal safely for England. Frustrating for France.
For years.
It was a nice touch when France played their last match. Bossis came onto the pitch before the game and presented Amoros with a gold watch as a souvenir. Here's Papin going in, and Wright went with him just enough. If they could pull a goal out of the hat here, and there's no one better at doing that sort of thing than Pearce. But it didn't quite come off for Graham Taylor's captain, being the man in possession, but by his own admission hasn't been playing too well recently for Arsenal. Clough with the corner, Rousset started to come, Wright got to it, and Shearer! Alan Shearer has brought to the full international his goal touch from the under-21s, and a great boost for England right on half-time. Spinning and scoring with some style.
Just for a minute, Martin, after Mark Wright heads this down, from the back we just see the number 10 shirt appear, and for a minute you would swear blind that was Gary Lineker, wouldn't you? That's a magnificent start for him.
Well, he hasn't played a complete half at this level, but he's already got his first goal. David Hurst, which gives Graham Taylor the chance to see in tandem. Alan Shearer, very much the man in focus at the moment. And Lineker, and that certainly will be with a view to the European Championship squad. But it's going to be difficult to observe Lineker in 12 and Shearer in 10. Lineker, and it's Thomas, brilliantly played by England. Rousset started to come, oh, and Thomas tried to chip him. This so-called retirement in a fit of pique from the French game, from this remarkable character whose temperament sometimes outweighs his talents, which are considerable. That's a lovely touch from him there. Papin, can he get this down? And following up was Eric Cantona. He was in at the outset of the move and he nearly rounded it off, but Papin was probing away then.
Yes, that's a good ball in from Perez. Papin can't quite, he's pulled off Des Walker's shoulder, can't quite get good control, but full marks of Cantona there.
Lineker, he's in. And he's put it wide by a matter of inches. And with the records getting closer and closer, the misses assume greater importance personally.
Yeah, well, you don't believe that. Gary Lineker certainly doesn't believe that, and I don't, because I would have put any money you like once it was in that position that has gone through a hole in the net or something.
Anglemar. There's Eric Cantona, who's been talking to one or two Leeds players who have been dusting down the substitute. Lineker is being forced wide. That won't put him off. In the end, it was going across the goal. And Kazoni. How much can France fight in this situation? How much are they prepared to do so? Amoros giving you a pretty quick answer. Or the full French lineup by a goal to nil. Webb, that's a fine ball for Shearer. Lineker joined by Clough in the centre. It comes for Clough! And Lineker, oh, and Lineker! 2-0. And whether he starts or whether he's a substitute, the outcome is still the same. There's still plenty of life left in Lineker.
Well, that's an excellent ball in from Shearer. Beautifully struck from Clough. He will have thought he'd scored. There goes Lineker. 1, 2. Nothing's going to stop him scoring.
And nothing, it seems, is going to stop him breaking Bobby Charlton's record.
But look at this. This is sheer power from the lad Shearer. You know, he's got his tail up after his goal. He's attacked the defence, gone strong, and the little bits and pieces that happened after it, well, full credit.
So 17 minutes to go, and England now have some breathing space. Really has given a committed performance here. It's a lead now. That's is it in? As Woods saved it on the line. It was Simba who rolled it against the post. It was England caught still in a celebratory mood, really. And it's still 2-0. But my word, this was very, very close indeed.
Yeah, Martin Keown, his first real mistake of the night. Ball's just edging in, hits the post, and then they all go.
Well, if there is anyone to rival Lineker for opportunism, it was the player coming in after Simba had rolled it against the post here. Jean-Pierre Papin couldn't make it. But let's...
The space at the back.
Papin! Offside, offside. Even then it didn't go in.
Yeah, it was a good early decision. The linesman had his flag up well in.
He nearly made it 3 out of 3 when he hit the post. Here's Cantona and Bolly. The game has been stopped. Enjoyment in the closing stages, and maybe a third goal yet. Are we being greedy? Cantona. Here's Simba, 3 up for France. Cantona making 4. Well, they'll be hoping at Ellen Road that he can drive his shots a bit nearer the target. In the national press, Ron, for messing about with the side, but the scoreline tells it all.
Yes, he'll be encouraged. New players and new young strikers come in and looks as if he's got an international career for a long time to come. And the other thing that will encourage him, Martin, is the fact that one of our biggest competitors in Europe, in Sweden, France, looked as if they don't have the teeth for a big competition.
Well, England have become the first country to beat France in almost 3 years. The goals from Shearer and from Lineker justifying Graham Taylor's team selection. And 4 months away from the meeting in Malmo in the European Championship, what psychological advantage can be gained from such an occasion as this is undoubtedly England's. The target of selection for Sweden, a great motivation for a number of the England players in this experimental lineup. And the outcome, a victory over currently Europe's most successful side.